line of strong storms hitting Colorado this evening, bringing with it dangerous lightning. We'll show you where it hit.
Despite delegate drama, the GOP makes it official.
I'm so proud to be your nominee.
And how the Trump campaign is handling allegations his wife may have plagiarized her speech.
And more delays for the train to the plane. Tonight, RTD defends its record, why it says those problems are mostly minor.
Fox 31 Denver, news at 9.
Take a look at this lightning, a big danger that came with tonight's storm as it rolled over the Denver metro area, hitting a lot of us here tonight. Good evening, and thanks for joining us. I'm Maristera Brady.
I'm Jeremy Hubbard. Heavy rain caused flooding around the metro just over the last couple of hours, but it was the lightning that came before the storm that sent one person to the hospital. We're tracking the latest on the storms with meteorologist Mark Monstrola, but we want to start with Fox 31 Denver's Kagan Harsha with the latest on that lightning strike. Kagan?
Well, good evening, guys. We're still seeing some rain out here, and that lightning was certainly popping all across the metro area earlier this evening, and unfortunately, at least one person was severely injured by it. Now, we're told by the Arvada Fire Department that a golfer was hit by a lightning bolt on the Indian Tree Golf Club at about 10 to 6 this evening. They're not releasing many details beyond that, but multiple witnesses tell us a man was killed and another man injured because he was standing nearby. Gene Lucero and his girlfriend actually saw the lightning strike. They spoke with some Good Samaritans who quickly rushed to help.
One of the gentlemen we ran into, between he and his daughter, both applied CPR to the victim and weren't able to revive him, apparently.
Now, our weather team actually recorded 43 lightning strikes in that area of Arvada just from 5:30 to 6 o'clock tonight, so certainly a lot going on then. The Arvada Fire Department, again, is not confirming anyone was killed. They're only saying that the person was transported to the hospital. Meanwhile, there was also another dangerous lightning strike down in El Paso County this evening. They tell us that a woman was struck by lightning at the fairgrounds in Calhan, and we do not have an update on her condition, but we'll tell you once we hear something from them. Reporting live tonight in Denver, Kagan Harsha, Fox 31 Denver.
The other danger with tonight's storm was the heavy rain, making driving difficult at times. Couple that with the lightning, and it was quite a mess out there. Meteorologist Mark Monstrola tracking the latest now, and more on that lightning strike from earlier. Mark?
Yeah, we've taken the radar back actually to that 5:30 to 6 o'clock time frame, and as Kagan mentioned, notice right over northwest Denver, 42 to 43 strikes of lightning right over the Arvada area as that storm barreled in off of the foothills. And something we always say when it comes to lightning, if you hear the skies roar, go indoors. If the thunder is definitely audible, you want to make sure you head into a safe location, into some shelter away from any impending lightning that may be headed your way. Meanwhile, as we look at the satellite and radar composite, you can see everything is quieting down, not as heavy as it was earlier. Still some light to moderate rain, though, around the city and into the north side of town. Boy, do these monsoon-style storms really dump a lot of rain on the area as they blew through as much as 1.5 to 2 inches of rain from about Littleton down to around Englewood. You see these green areas shaded here. That's where the heaviest rainfall totals were found. And then off into Glendale and stretching to Aurora, anywhere from 1/2 inch to 1.5 inches of rain, which led to those flash flood warnings that came out. We saw about 1 foot of water on some area roadways around the downtown area. They were impassable for a short period of time. And another saying that we always throw out there, turn around, don't drown. If you encounter any water-covered roads, you never know how deep it is, and it doesn't take a lot of water to lift a car up and take it downstream. Meanwhile, tonight, these storms will continue to wrap up. By the time we head toward tomorrow morning, plenty of sunshine. It'll be a nice start to the day and mild, with temperatures only falling down to 64 degrees tonight, but more showers in the forecast for tomorrow. We'll get you through that coming up in just a few minutes.
And you can follow these summer storms with interactive radar on our app. There you can also get the hour-by-hour forecast and the 10-day outlook anywhere, anytime on our app. Just search KDVR in the App Store or Google Play.
It is official, Donald Trump securing the GOP presidential nomination at the Republican convention tonight, but he didn't get any help from the Colorado delegates who picked Senator Ted Cruz. Fox 31 Denver's Mike Barr is here with the latest from Cleveland. Mike.
Mr. Trump taking to TV tonight from New York to address his supporters after his son, Donald Trump Jr., cast necessary delegates to put him over the top and validate a campaign like no other in U.S. presidential history. As expected, Colorado wasn't having any of it.
The Centennial State votes. 31 votes for Ted Cruz, 2 votes abstain, and 4 votes for the next president of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
But Donald Trump got the necessary delegates to continue his incredible run. His son, Donald Jr., putting him over the top with the New York delegates.
It is my honor to be able to throw Donald Trump over the top in the delegate count tonight with 89 delegates and another 6 for John Kasich. Congratulations, Dad. We love you.
Trump reaching out via satellite to thank his supporters.
I'm so proud to be your nominee for President of the United States. I look forward to sharing my thoughts with you on Thursday night on how we build a brighter and more hopeful future.
Tonight was a chance for Republican leaders to speak and unify as a party.
What do you say that we unify this party at this crucial moment when unity is everything? Let's take our fight to our opponents with better ideas. Let's get on the offensive and let's stay there.
As a former federal prosecutor, I welcome the opportunity to hold Hillary Rodham Clinton accountable.
Along with Mr. Trump's daughter and son in an effort to humanize him.
He's always helped me be the best version of myself. By encouragement and by example, he motivates me to work my hardest and to always stay true to who I am and what I believe.
And Donald Trump will address the crowd in person on the final day of the RNC. That's Thursday night. Mike Barrs, Fox 31 Denver.
Presumptive Democratic nominee Hillary Clinton not commenting on the plagiarism allegations made against Donald Trump's wife after her speech last night. Instead, she spent the day campaigning in Nevada, appearing at a conference for government employees, attending a voter registration drive.
It doesn't do us any good being here in July applauding and yelling about Donald Trump and his terrible ideas if we don't get out and win.
Clinton has several campaign events tomorrow on the East Coast. She is expected to announce her running mate after the Republican convention ends.
Tonight we're hearing from the family of an elderly driver accused of hitting and killing a 14-year-old boy. Cole Sukle and a friend were in the bicycle lane at Yale and Nielsen last week when police say 81-year-old Patricia Livingston crashed into them. A spokesperson for Livingston's family says they learned a painful lesson from Cole's death that they want to share with others.
It's not only profoundly sad, but also something that I think the community can look at and think, am I doing the right thing for my aging parent, or am I doing the right thing for my family member that may or may not be in a position to continue to drive?
The spokesperson says Livingston's family did help her with driving on the highways and in the evenings. Last week's crash was the second time in less than a year she was involved in an accident with injuries.
The search continues for a Littleton woman missing since late June. At a news conference today, police said this is a criminal investigation. 36-year-old Charlene Watt disappeared June 29th. Her family reported her missing on July 8th. Police searched her car, found abandoned in this lot, the apartment where she was living also with her boyfriend. They won't say what they found, but it did spark a criminal investigation.
I certainly can't tell you what was found or the facts that led us to believe that we needed to search the apartment. It was just the facts and circumstances in this case are unique enough to where we feel concerned, and it was just part of the investigation.
The boyfriend, Jeff Meyer, has since been arrested on an unrelated sex assault charge. Investigators ask anyone with information to please call police. The man accused of attacking several people on the 16th Street Mall is just hours away from appearing in court. Police say Clarence Seeley is the man that you see here in this video, chasing after and beating several people in the mall last month. Tomorrow, he's expected to be in court for the formal filing of charges.
State Representative Dan Pabon pleading guilty today of charges of driving drunk. Pabon was sentenced to 1-year probation. He's also now required to attend a victim impact panel, alcohol education and treatment, and perform 56 hours of community service. Pabon was arrested at Colfax and Glenarm back on St. Patrick's Day. Well, tomorrow marks 4 years since a gunman entered the Century 16 Theater in Aurora, killing 12 and injuring dozens more. And tomorrow, the Aurora community will gather to honor those killed and injured and thank the first responders who saved countless lives that night. That remembrance event set for 6:30 tomorrow night outside the Aurora Municipal Building, right there on the Great Lawn. 11
police and firefighters coming to their rescue after a puppy falls into a vent. They tweeted this photo of this cute little puppy who fell earlier this afternoon. Initially, they thought 3 dogs were lost in the vent, but the other puppies were found, all of them safe, hiding underneath a dresser. Coming up on Fox 31 Denver News at 10, an entire community coming together to help find a dog who vanished in the Cold Springs fire. How hundreds are working to help find Gino, all thanks to social media, doing something good in that instance.
Real community effort. Let's hope they do.
Pretty cool.
Well, more delays on the plane to the train.
At 9:30, we're asking RTD tough questions about the train's reliability, what they're doing to make sure you arrive on time.
Another deadline in the process of renaming Mile High Stadium. Why we could be waiting a while to see who replaces Sports Authority.
But first, frustration for people whose cars were damaged by hail in last week's storm. Why they're facing a really long wait to clean up this major mess.
I'm meteorologist Mark Monstrola. A hot and at times humid afternoon, and we're going to do it all over again through the day tomorrow. We'll let you know when the heat will finally relax. Coming up, Big Pinpoint weather.
Get breaking news first with a Fox 31 Denver app. Download it today and turn on push alerts to get instant updates on the biggest stories. It's free for iPhone and Android. Just search KDVR in the App Store or Google Play. The Fox 31 Denver problem solvers investigate how these truckers are getting away with leaving drivers' windshields broken. Thursday at 9.
Used car searches may start somewhere else, but they'll always end at thesharpestrides.com. Thesharpestrides.com is Colorado's #1 internet car dealer for good reason. Not only do we have the sharpest rides in the state, but we pride ourselves on honest dealing, low, no-haggle prices, and dependable vehicles. There's something for everyone at The Sharpest Rides, and it's easier than ever. Browse anytime at thesharpestrides.com. Come in, meet your ride, and drive away. End that search today at thesharpestrides.com.
50 years, Discount Tire has been the place where America saves on tires. We're not just about tires. We are about people. Come see the difference at your neighborhood Discount Tire.
It's a golden opportunity. Hello, I'm Mike Sawaya, the Sawaya Law Firm. My law firm has grown with Denver in the past 40 years, helping injured people recover their lives. I meet with all my clients to make sure that the 12 core values of our firm are applied in every case. You'll see the value of your case develop in the hands of our skilled attorneys. If you've been hurt in an accident that wasn't your fault, come see me.
Call the Sawaya Law Firm at 303-GOOD-LAW. That's 303-GOOD-LAW.
Excuse me, I think there's a misprint.
Oh, model year-end clearance event. Looks right to me.
Shouldn't it be clear?
Clearly, it is time to get a great deal and a reward card on this turbocharged Jetta. Got to make room for the 2017 models. It is a clearance event. Why is that so hard for people to understand? Seems clear to me. Clear to me. Ready for a test drive?
Whatever you want to call it, don't miss the Volkswagen Model Year-End event. Hurry in and lease a 2016 Jetta S for $139 a month after a $1,000 bonus.
Tonight it was flash flooding, but just a few days ago, of course, we were talking about golf ball-sized hail hitting parts of the metro area.
It was just huge, and if you're among those with hail-damaged vehicles, get ready to wait for some repairs. Fox 31 Denver problem solver Ken Erdahl joining us live from Centennial with what you can expect. Ken.
Aristea, depends on where you go. Here at CarStar, it's a little shorter wait than most. If you have just minor damage, you might be able to get in and out in just a couple of weeks. But most of these cases are not minor, and they're taking 10 to 15 new appointments every day. When the hail hit hardest on Friday, Lisa Livermore was away from her daughter's car and knew she couldn't do much about it.
We've got 2 kids home from college, and so, obviously there's not enough garage space for them, and things happen. That's why we pay insurance.
But insurance doesn't guarantee a quick fix. At Jordan Road CarStar Collision, paintless dent repair is already at about a 2-week wait. And many vehicles caught in the last storm also need hoods and roofs completely replaced due to the size of the hail that fell. So far, fixes like this are expected to take 3 to 4 weeks, but not for long.
It kind of happens fast, so there's a chance in 3 weeks we could be out 2.5 to 3 months. It all hits fast.
This is the one that came out of the Toyota.
For now, Glass America repairman Joe Seals is only concerned with damaged windshields and windows.
We're just trying to get them all back on the road again.
And when it comes to dent repair?
As far as this morning, we're already 3 months out. As far as being booked up, I'm pretty sure by the end of the week, it's probably going to be like 4 or 5 months out before you could even get anything done.
4 or 5 months?
Uh-huh. And before long, it's going to be even longer than that, depending on how many claims they have in it.
And if you're thinking about going elsewhere,
There's so many storms that kind of happen all at once. We couldn't even send anybody but to Wyoming, and nobody wants to drive to Wyoming to get their car fixed.
it's why Lisa has another idea.
We may just leave it. Fortunately, they're the older vehicles and not the newer ones.
Lisa is facing the same situation that many other car owners do. They're waiting on an estimate still from their insurance agent. That's not until next weekend. That's why we're seeing these wait times grow longer and longer. Reporting live in Centennial, Kent Erdahl, Fox 31 Denver.
Oh, and more expensive and more expensive.
Well, there's clearly not enough insurance agents and not enough repair shops for all the hail we've been having.
Unbelievable.
We get a ton of hail around this area, and we had a little bit here today again in some of these thunderstorms, not as pronounced as what other storms in recent weeks have put down, just some nickel-sized stuff. It was more the heavy rain.
It was nuts out there.
Yeah, the lightning and the gusty winds. It was wild for a little while. Let's get a look at the satellite and radar composite now. The big picture across the Front Range showing there's still quite the light show happening in the eastern plains. Look at all the lightning that those storms are throwing out of the skies there, basically from I-76 all the way down to I-70. We're going to get to these in just a moment, but let's start off with what's happening in the metro areas. There's still some drizzle and some spotty light rain around the south side of town. We are drying out a bit from Centennial back to Littleton, where we had 1.5 inches to 2 inches of rain actually earlier on this afternoon and evening, caused some minor flooding in those spots. Meanwhile, downtown, some light rain, pretty consistent across the downtown area and on the north side of town as well. And then a little pocket of heavy rain as you get back into the foothills near El Dorado Springs. Bigger picture out into the eastern plains. A look at all that lightning and heavy rain. Still cranking along as it moves toward the Akron area up the I-76 corridor from Fort Morgan to Hill Rose. It is dying off a little bit, but I still think we're going to deal with this heavy rain, lightning, and gusty winds or so for the next hour, maybe two, before we head toward midnight and things really begin to wind down. And in fact, our future radar shows that for us as we go through the next 2 hours or so. You can kind of see how the yellows start to shrink just a little bit, though still some heavy rain at 11 p.m., but I think by midnight, 1 a.m., it will start to settle. And don't be surprised downtown here over the next few hours if we get a little resurgence of some rain coming off the foothills. I don't think we'll be done with the possibility for light showers until after the midnight hour. And then as we get toward tomorrow morning, everything begins to calm down. But here's the catalyst for it all. Big ridge of high pressure over the south central part of the country, tapping into that plethora of Pacific moisture rolling in from the southwest that helps fuel these monsoon-style storms. It will do it again tomorrow afternoon. Meanwhile, the heat continues to build in from the south, helping trigger those storms. Once we get enough of that daytime heating, cranks up the instability, and then we start to see them fire, and we'll do it all over again tomorrow evening. So let's start off Futurecast here this evening. Notice how everything fades out by tomorrow morning. Plenty of sunshine to kick off the day. Nice drive in, but put the umbrella in the back seat if you're going to be out throughout the day. If you're not coming home until 6, maybe 7 o'clock in the evening, make sure you have the rain gear with you, because a few isolated storms will begin to develop across the high country by noon, and we'll transfer those down toward the city with, yes, the possibility for heavy rain, more lightning, maybe even some very small hail coming our way by the time the evening drive rolls around, dinner time, and that could continue on and off through about sunset. And look at those highs today. Doesn't happen all that often. Mid-90s again today. 95 for the high this afternoon. Fort Collins matching that. Mid-90s, triple digits across the eastern plains. We managed the 70s and 80s there in parts of the mountains. Outside right now, we're at 65. Cooled off quickly once that rain blew through. 73 at DIA, and we're kind of in those middle 70s to low 80s in that range out in the eastern plains there. 60s, 70s. In the high country and a little closer to the metro area. Notice Aurora at 68 degrees, Thornton at 75, Broomfield, you're at 70 now, in mid-60s as you get to the southwest side of town. 64 degrees overnight tonight. Yeah, the evening storms are out there with heavy rain and some gusty winds and a lot of lightning, but they'll die off after midnight tonight, leaving us with sunshine early tomorrow morning and another day full of heat. We're really going to crank it up quickly tomorrow afternoon. Loveland topping out at 93. Fort Collins, you'll match that. North side of Denver, North Glen, 94 degrees. And then in the interior sections of the city, probably getting to about 95. West side of town, closer to the foothills, low 90s. And then as you get toward the Palmer Divide, more along the lines of the upper 80s. Castle Rock will say 88 for your high tomorrow afternoon. Showers and storms develop late, 30% chance you'll get wet at some point tomorrow, and then we'll repeat that again through the day on Thursday before the shower chances begin to slowly taper off, as do those high temperatures back down to, we'll say, the low 90s by Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, we could use whatever rain we can get as long as it's not terribly severe.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mark.
Some call it progress, others say it's trouble in the making.
What is going on in this town that has residents split? We will go there coming up.
But first, looking for your first home? A few Colorado cities now called the best places to buy. We're going to tell you why next.
Don't get caught in a backup. Get real-time traffic information anytime, anywhere. Download the Fox 31 Denver app today for time-saver traffic at your fingertips. It's free for iPhone and Android. Just search KDVR in the App Store. Fox 31 Denver Pinpoint Weather brought to you by Toyota.
The deadline has come and passed for companies to get in their bids to have their name and logo on Sports Authority Field. They had until 3 today. The name Sports Authority, of course, going away because the company's bankrupt and liquidating all assets. Some economic experts say the price for the naming rights is well below current market rates. While many people want the name Mile High Stadium to return, ultimately that decision is up to the team.
A new civil lawsuit against Volkswagen calls for additional penalties against the automaker over the emissions scandal. The suits, filed separately by New York, Maryland, and Massachusetts, accused senior executives at VW of covering up evidence of its cheating emissions tests in the U.S. for years. The lawsuits cite emails and other documents alleging a long-term effort among VW employees to equip vehicles with faulty devices while stonewalling questions from regulators. Fiat Chrysler now under investigation by the feds for allegedly falsifying sales records. This after 2 dealerships filed federal lawsuits against the company. They claim it paid dealers to submit dozens of fake sales on the last day of the month, then had them undo the sales on the first day of the following month. Fiat Chrysler has been reporting some of the industry's best sales growth in 7 years since it emerged from bankruptcy. The company says it's fully cooperating with the investigation.
We may not believe it with the high real estate prices in our area, but 5 Colorado cities are near the top of a new list of the top 10 places for first-time home buyers. According to Wallet Hub, Greeley, Thornton, Westminster, Longmont, and Centennial are all great places for people to make that first home purchase. Analysts looked at housing affordability, real estate taxes, even property crime rates when compiling that list. I do find this hard to believe because
I did too.
All over the place, along the Front Range, houses are expensive.
Affordability, that was the thing that definitely raised my eyes. But hey, let's hope it's true.
Yeah, let's hope.
Problems still plaguing the train to the plane.
After more long delays on the A-line this week, what RTD is saying they still need to fix.
And plans for a new mixed-use development in Greenwood Village. Why some neighbors say the proposed town center isn't welcome.
Search Fox 31 Denver on Facebook and like our page. Weigh in on today's top stories and trending news. Share photos and connect with us on Facebook today.
Daddy, let's play Pretty Princess Makeover Party.
Oh, honey, I'm really sorry I can't right now. I've got to search all these websites to find the best deal on Daddy's new truck.
You're welcome.
Why waste time on other auto sites? StevensonAuto.com is the faster, easier, better way to buy a car.
Sure you can handle that much truck?
Funny.
This is your house. Houses are expensive. Expenses keep life from being simple. But there's a simple way to stay ahead of expenses. Use the red key and open a hassle-free account. No monthly service charges, no overdraft fees, no minimum balance fees, no hassles. Take the first step to thriving. Open a hassle-free account and get $100. Get $300 for premium checking. Additional transaction requirements must be met. KeyBank. Use the red key.
Have a look around.
Thank you.
Closed captioning brought to you by Auto Nation. Fox 31 Denver, news at 9:30.
You know, we don't need a downtown. We don't need a place to congregate.
A controversial development project in Greenwood Village has neighbors frustrated. The city wants to build a new town center, but some residents say they don't want it. Thanks for staying with us at 9:30. I'm Jeremy Hubbard.
And I'm Aristea Brady. They say it has the potential to create some serious traffic trouble. Fox 31 Denver's Amanda Zitzman explains.
Well, a
developer wants to build the new town center right here in the area next to the Orchard RTD station just west of I-25. The city says it'll bring in money and add more options for residents, but some residents say it'll only cause problems.
There's several reasons. The first is traffic.
Randy Davis and his family moved to Greenwood Village 5 years ago.
It's a fantastic quality of life. We love kind of the suburban feel.
But he cites rapid growth and heavily congested roadways as some of his issues with the new project.
It's really dangerous at rush hour to try to get through the intersection.
His father, a village resident since 1978, agrees.
Right now the traffic in this area on Orchard, on Quebec, on Bellevue is a nightmare as it stands today.
The proposed project calls for rezoning this business area as town center space near the Orchard RTD station just west of I-25. Supporters say it'll bring energy and opportunity, a downtown gathering area adding retail shops, restaurants, offices, residences, and revenue. But Davis worries the high-rises will obstruct his mountain view.
As they build more and more high-rises, people on the east side of I-25 will be impacted.
And could overburden the school district.
We don't have any problems finding a place to shop. We don't have any problems finding a place to eat.
And a hearing is actually still underway right now with the Zoning and Planning Commission. It's a packed house with a lot of residents speaking. We'll let you know how this all moves forward. In Greenwood Village, Amanda Zitzman, Fox 31 Denver.
Crime Stoppers reward now at $30,000 for help finding the men who killed a security guard at a dispensary. Travis Mason, a veteran, husband, and father of 3, was shot and killed last month during a robbery at the Greenheart dispensary in Aurora. Police released these surveillance photos of some suspects here. They're asking anyone with any information on that murder to give them a call.
Fans of Rosenberg's Bagels will be waiting a little bit longer. The popular deli closed its 26th Avenue location earlier this year after a fire and a murder in the upstairs. Now construction delays pushing back the reopening until September. In the meantime, though, Rosenberg's will be at the Source Farmers Market every Sunday starting this weekend. Another day of delays on the new A-Line train from Union Station to Denver International Airport. Today's problem coming just 2 days after a malfunction left some passengers stuck on a train for more than an hour. RTD says most of the problems on the train have been minor. Fox 31 Denver's Dave Young explains.
RTD says Tuesday morning delays of 20 to 30 minutes are the latest in a series of incidents that add to the perception the A-Line is unreliable.
The delay off the schedule, and then there's a travel time delay. So typically when we're talking about a delay, it's off of the published schedule. Not necessarily it's going to take 30 extra minutes to get to the airport. So we can do a better job communicating that.
RTD says Sunday's hour-plus delay of one train is only the 6th time since they launched the system in April of a half-hour or more delay, including this one in May where passengers had to be walked off a bridge. RTD says the complex electrical and computer guidance system is behind nearly all the delays.
The damage has been done with the big issues that we had in the beginning, and so that's just a matter of us making sure that we're running on time, that when we do have issues or service disruptions that happen, that we communicate it very clearly and quickly and let people know what their options are.
But RTD board member Natalie Minton says complaints from people missing flights at DIA demands they address it head on.
And our priority needs to be reliable transportation. We do a lot of trips every day that are on time, get the person right where they need to be. But we need to do better.
Still, RTD says A-Line ridership sees weekly increases with on-time performance right around 90%.
We present the problem as it is, and sometimes people take it as the entire line is down. It's actually only one car at one station that's affected out of 144 trips that day.
RTD says the B line from here to Westminster, set to begin on Monday, is still on schedule. They say it's a much simpler route with no stops, and they don't expect any problems. At Union Station, Dave Young, Fox 31, Denver.
Looks like the Pokemon Go craze is not letting up. Now it's causing more problems for police and communities surrounding Denver. Police in Westminster say City Hall and the department have become stomping grounds for the popular game. So the department has put in a request to remove their Pokestop status. According to their Facebook page, dozens of people were sticking around the city complex late last night into the early morning hours. Some were even inside, others loitering outside.
Like you can see behind us, I mean, there's just a lot going on, and you've seen the stories out there where people are walking into things and off of things, so that's a concern. But like I said, we just are concerned because when we have that many people during those weird hours, it's just concerning for the police officers, obviously.
City Hall also under construction, as you can see, which poses a safety threat to many gamers walking around in the dark, as you might imagine.
Yeah, and in Maryland, police are issuing a warning to distracted drivers. Get this, after somebody playing Pokemon Go crashed into an officer's cruiser. The crash happened early yesterday morning where officers were dealing with another incident. An officer's body camera, look at this, captures the aftermath, including the driver saying, "That's what you get. That's what the driver gets for playing the game." Talk about bad luck. Of all the cars you're going to crash right into.
Was there just such a dearth of things to do before Pokemon Go that we were really just waiting for this?
Apparently. I was actually going to ask you, though, you think with your little guy, though, he won't be playing Nintendo, he'll be up, you'll be doing a scavenger hunt. Would you ever consider it?
I guess. I mean, it's good exercise for sure.
Yeah, I'm thinking he might be asking you soon, trying to prepare you for it.
I'm going to try and prevent him from finding out what it is. Let's put this off as long as possible. Yes.
Neighbors fed up with years of construction. Call in the Fox 31 Denver problem solvers.
The change now being made after we took their complaints to 2 Denver area cities.
And a new link discovered between the heart and the brain, how cholesterol levels could affect your memory.
Watch our news live wherever you are. Download the Fox 31 Denver app today for a live stream of this newscast at your fingertips. It's free for iPhone and Android. Just search KDVR in the App Store or Google Play.
Chef Edward Lee brings some unnerving ingredients to an all-new MasterChef.
Next time you serve feet like that on a plate, at least trim the toenails.
Wednesday at 7.
In your health tonight, a possible breakthrough in the fight against the Zika virus.
Yeah, researchers say they now understand how the virus infects a fetus and one possible way to prevent it. They say Zika travels through either the placenta or the amniotic sac, and they found a certain antibiotic that can stop it on either route. The team urging more research to see how the drug could help reduce or even prevent transmission. And a new study finds there is no increased risk of breast cancer for women who undergo in vitro fertilization. It's a concern that many doctors have raised because the treatment temporarily raises the levels of certain hormones. But researchers who followed 25,000 IVF patients for more than 2 decades say their cancer rates were not higher.
Well, a team of neuroscientists at Duke University may have found a new way to treat obsessive-compulsive disorder. They say mice with OCD have a receptor in their brains that is constantly being activated, and they found injecting the mice with a chemical made that disorder disappear. More research, of course, is needed here, but experts say it could be a starting point for new treatments. And a possible tie discovered between cholesterol and memory. Cholesterol levels are not static. They change constantly, and when Dutch researchers studied thousands of people in their 70s and 80s, they found patients whose LDL, or bad cholesterol levels, fluctuated most also needed more time to finish a word test. Interesting stuff there.
Fed up and frustrated with a new development.
Next, people in one Centennial community turning to the problem solvers, trying to get rid of what they call a noisy nuisance.
Thunderstorms still pounding the eastern plains this evening. Meanwhile, quiet skies arriving around the metro area. But we're going to do it all over again tomorrow afternoon with more storms on the way. We'll time them out for you. Plus, we're talking heat coming up in Pinpoint Weather.
Track interactive radar. Get an hour-by-hour forecast and see a 10-day outlook anytime, anywhere. Download the Pinpoint Weather app today. It's free for iPhone and Android. Just search KDVR in the App Store or Google Play.
Gardens Theme and Water Park. The only park that's 2 parks in one. Come play like a kid. When you pay like a kid. Now, for a limited time, everyone can pay like a kid. All tickets are kid-priced when you purchase online at elitchgardens.com.
Wow. These are awesome. This is my dream car.
Yeah, I like this. Been waiting to get in this.
Real people have what works like this. This is Joe, a typical lawyer. When Joe finally gets a good result for one client, he puts that client, or usually an actor playing that client, on TV to make us all think that Joe gets lucky like this all the time. Get the picture? Go to AndersonHemmett.com where you can read about our real clients or even chat with them online. Or call us at 303-782-9999.
In the social conversation, follow me on Twitter or check out my Facebook page and let's stay connected.
Get breaking news, top stories, weather alerts, and the stories you'll want to share from Fox 31 Denver. We're posting them all day on Twitter. Follow us at KDVR.
We got
got some breaking news out of Hollywood tonight. Comedian and television producer Gary Marshall has died. Marshall, of course, created some of the biggest TV shows in television history, including Happy Days, Laverne and Shirley, and Mork and Mindy, which, as you know, was set up in Boulder. TMZ says Marshall died from complications from pneumonia. He was 81 years old. A noisy nuisance for a neighborhood in Centennial. Residents say construction of million-dollar homes is creating a major problem.
They say that noise starts early in the morning, lasts all day long. Fox 31 Denver problem solver Tammy Vigil has the story.
In the neighborhood of Greenwood South.
Goes on all day.
The constant roar of big rigs and other construction trucks makes J.D. Mayotte see red.
It consistently flows all day long. So the city
As HOA president for the 96 homes, he's been fighting the construction convoy for 2 years.
Noise, it's the traffic, it's the trash.
He says Centennial and Greenwood Village won't do anything.
We're just looking for some help.
So he called problem solvers.
We're the first street to the west of that project.
He says this no left turn into a new high-dollar community from westbound Orchard is the problem.
It has literally caused hundreds of trucks over the last couple of years to come into our neighborhood.
Trucks which quickly find they can't access the construction site and make U-turns.
Greenwood Village, for some reason, refuses to take the lead on this project and do that. And so we all suffer.
But Greenwood Village tells problem solvers allowing traffic to turn left into Marvella would create safety issues and traffic backups on the single-lane road.
And now there's a new exit going through the backside of Marvella project, which opened yesterday. So now we're being attacked on both sides.
Problem solvers called Centennial too, and they say it can't stop vehicles from driving on public taxpayer-funded streets. But it will add 3 speed bumps in surrounding Madison Park to alleviate construction impacts.
This is horrible, and rectify the situation.
A spokesperson for the home builder Century Community says it has had a plan in place for months, but contractors haven't followed it. But they say they will reinstate their wishes emphatically. They want contractors to use Arapahoe Road instead of Orchard, which will loop them around and put them on a path to pull in directly into the project. In Centennial, Tammy Vigil, Fox 31 Denver.
Tammy, thank you. Kids at a local children's hospital got some major league visitors today. MLB umpires teamed up with Build-A-Bear Workshop to let kids pick out some new furry friends, complete with outfits and all, as you can see. Of course, bear-sized Rocky uniforms were among the option. Volunteers say it's a fun event, not just for them and the kids, but also for parents, too.
Just to brighten their day for a little bit, and then also just, the parents, just to take 30 seconds to a minute out of their day of just not thinking about hospital affairs and just talking to umpires about the game the night before or the game tonight.
Upscare Charities started this program 10 years ago and has handed out more than 10,000 bears so far.
Oh, this is exciting. Construction on the St. Jude Dream Home nearly complete now. The 4-bedroom house valued at $550,000, located out in the Tollgate Crossing neighborhood in Aurora. It features a 3,400 square foot home, 3-car garage, and you will soon have the chance to see this year's Dream Home in person for yourself. Furniture was delivered to the house last week. Work is underway to get it ready for open house tours, which start this weekend, and we will be there. Join us. Stop by the St. Jude Dream Home open house this Saturday. We'll explain what Aristay is doing with her arms in this picture.
What is that?
and you'll have the chance to register to win a $10,000 shopping spree from Furniture Row. You can also meet the Fox 31 Denver evening anchor team. We will be there from noon to 2. Come join us. We'd love to meet you. The Dream Home located on the corner of East Saratoga Place and South Buchanan Street, again in the Tollgate Crossing neighborhood of Aurora.
Caught you in the middle of a dance move.
You know that in Greece when Sandy and Danny are going like this,
Yeah.
it looks like I'm right about to start that.
That's it.
I don't know, I just do what they tell me, folks. I don't know.
Anytime you want to break that out.
Yeah,
more than welcome.
there you go.
They
I'll
told
have
you to do
Hubbard
that?
sing and I'll do this.
It's a deal. Come see us. We'll do it. We'll do it. We
Little
promise.
live sing and dance act, pony show here.
Sounds good to me. Well, we have a show happening in the Eastern Plains right now, a light show in the skies. There's plenty of lightning still out there here this evening. We're going to get to that in a moment, but in Nederland, boy, was it coming down early today. These are the dark storm clouds that were pushing over the Front Range there, and there was some minor flooding in spots as heavy rain was pummeling so many areas, including the Denver metro area. We had a foot of rain on some roadways around the south part of Denver earlier this afternoon. They were impassable at points. Now at this hour, as we look at the satellite and radar composite, again, there are the showers in the northeastern plains still ravaging many communities there up and down I-76. A few storms just to the east there of Colorado Springs and a bunch down near the southwest slope near Telluride, Durango, and into the San Juans, I think those are going to fade pretty quickly as they continue their march to the north. But as mentioned, still a lot of lightning to the east of town, but downtown, we are quieting down. Notice the sky is still pretty quiet across the northern metro area now as we're starting to see cloud cover emerging behind the rain shield that is pulling up to the north. Maybe some light drizzle just to the north of Thornton on the northern branch there of I-25 as you march north of the city. Meanwhile, look at all that lightning still being pumped around the Akron area right now. Back toward Fort Morgan, a lot of heavy rain, big rain shield extending down to the south from there near the I-70 corridor, near Deer Trail. I think a lot of these, though, as they move to the northeast, will start to fade out by about midnight. I think we're completely clear, but there may still be one or two stray showers that pop up around the city. Our future radar has one or two pockets of very light rain at best moving through between 11 and midnight, and then it will be quickly gone thereafter. All right, let's take you through the futurecast here. Tomorrow morning, statewide, north, south, east, west, outside of a few clouds, we are quiet. Plenty of sunshine to start the day, but keep the umbrella nearby, especially if you'll be away from the house through dinner time, 6, 7, maybe 8 o'clock in the evening. That's when we're expecting these storms to fire. Meanwhile, they'll begin to develop already by the lunch hour, very spotty in the mountains before starting to transfer down into the lower elevations once we get closer to that evening commute. Let's actually bring it into the metro areas. We'll start off the day, as mentioned, with plenty of sunshine. It'll be a nice morning drive. And if you have any plans for your lunch hour, maybe a midday tea time, or you're going to head out with your coworkers for lunch, going to be able to sit on the patio there noon to 1 o'clock. And then we drive home from work, and that's when things start to ramp up. Scattered showers, potential thunderstorms, very similar to today. You see the oranges here on the map representing that heavy rain and probably some potential lightning thrown in there as well. So something to watch out for on the radar, and you can always do so from wherever you are on your Pinpoint Weather app, which is available in the App Store. You can download it right now for free. 95 for the high today. Boy, was it a toasty one. Humid at times, too. We cooled down quickly once the rain blew through, though. 65 outside now, 73 at DIA, upper 60s, low 70s spread throughout the eastern plains. Fort Collins at 76, Castle Rock at 62, and we're backing down to the 50s, 60s, and a couple of low 70s hanging on as you get into the higher terrain. The heat's not done with us just yet, though. Look at this large area of high pressure across the center part of the country. They're talking excessive heat from Texas to the Dakotas. Dangerous heat, as a matter of fact, just to the east of us. We're not going to get that hot. Maybe very similar to what we saw today, mid-90s or so around Denver. But it's going to continue all the way through Thursday before slowly tapering off a little bit as we head toward the weekend. So 64 overnight tonight. These storms will wrap up across the state. Meanwhile, tomorrow afternoon, we start off with plenty of sunshine. Few clouds by noon, storms late. We're going to say 94 for the high, but once the rain blows through, just like today, we'll cool off pretty quickly. Much of the same on Thursday afternoon before we start to cool off slightly on Friday with a 20% chance for afternoon storms. We'll walk you through the weekend in your full 7-day in about 30 minutes.
All right. Thank you, Mark.
Coming up next in sports, why the Broncos are ready to get back to work after their short summer break.
And how one baseball team capitalizing on the Pokemon Go craze. Look at this with their mascot.
Have something you'd like us to investigate? Or a problem you think we could help solve? Call us at 303-566-7575 or email us at problemsolvers@kdvr.com. Or go online to kdvr.com and click on Contact Us along the top of the homepage. The Fox 31 Problem Solvers, committed to telling your story, helping our community, and doing what's right.
Hey guys, lunch is here. It's on me, fellas.
With the Chase mobile app, Stephen Curry can send money to more people in less time.
Thanks, Steph. No problem.
Even to friends at a growing number of other banks.
You ready to go? Come on, fellas, let's go.
Easy to use Chase technology for whatever you're trying to master.
And these are the ones. Sorry.
Don't worry about it.
Honey. At our house, we need things that are built to last. That's why we got a Subaru.
Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
There are certain pediatric cancers that 15 years ago had a cure rate of only 40%. Today, some of those cancers are 90% curable. I'm Joan, and I'm the executive director of the Morgan Adams Foundation. The organization is named after my oldest daughter, Morgan, who died from a malignant brain tumor at the age of 6. At that time, we learned that pediatric cancer research is seriously underfunded. Noble Energy's support makes possible the research that we fund every day. They understand what it's like to try to find solutions to very difficult problems.
Now, the Sawaya Law Firm Sports Zone with Cammie Carmen.
All right, I'm ready. I know our team is ready, and it's another year, another opportunity, and we're looking forward to it.
Broncos safety TJ Ward got his charity golf event in. Now it's time to work. Broncos are gearing up to grind out training camp. It's been a short summer for the defending Super Bowl champs. They get back to work next Wednesday when they report to team headquarters. The roster definitely looks a little different this time of year. The defense has had a mini makeover, but the majority of playmakers from last year are ready to be just as disruptive. Safety TJ Ward is one of those guys. He knows the success of this year's team will once again be dependent on the defense. He's confident they can exceed expectations.
Last year was a great year, but we can't, rest on that. We have to look toward what we can become, and I think we can become one of the best defense, not one of them, but the best defense of all times, and that's what we're working towards.
The Colorado Rockies and Mother Nature have a complicated love-hate relationship. Rockies hoping to capitalize on their current homestand. With 70 games left, the Rocks could still extend their season, but every game counts. Game 2 against the Tampa Bay Rays tonight. They had to wait about 2 hours. Some fierce lightning and rain rolled through Lodo this evening. They got the party started just over an hour ago. Tyler Chatwood was on the bump tonight. Starting rotation has been pretty solid until this game. Evan Longoria finds the concourse with this run, a 2-run shot. First homer Chatwood has allowed since May 15th. That made it 5-0. It just happened, Tyler. In the third, Rays running away with this one tonight. The Denver Nuggets got their guy locked down. Jamal Murray signing his rookie deal today. The 7th overall pick will collect $6.6 million in each of his first 2 years. The 19-year-old who spent 1 year at Kentucky had a slow start in summer league ball but finished strong. Nuggets can enjoy their summer. Their training camp begins in late September. And in case you missed it, Patriots tight end Rob Gronkowski, always up for a party, rocked out his air guitar on stage with Paul McCartney during a concert at Fenway Park over the weekend. Broncos will rock out with Gronk on December 18th when the Patriots get to come to Mile High. And by now, we've all heard about the new Pokemon Go, right? Well, so is baseball. This is iconic mascot Philly Fanatic. Hit the field with Pikachu. That's a Pokemon character. What was great, he's kind of mocking everyone that's running into things. Runs into the runs into the gate.
That's pretty awesome.
Nobody does it better than the Philly Fanatic.
Best mascot by far.
I love it. You got to give him an A for creativity on that one.
Pretty
that's
good.
For sure.
It's almost Broncos time. We're
we're getting there.
Can't
we're getting there. Yeah, regular season starts in just 50 days. Training camp in about a week.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, here we go.
We may not know what we're going to call the stadium, but we know
we know exactly.
We got the Broncos.
We'll be there.
Thanks, Kim.
Thanks for watching, Stu. Still plenty more news to come tonight.
Fox 31 Denver News at 10 starts now.
Fox 31 Denver News at 10.